Okay, welcome to our Trading Buddy Futures and Forex forecast for the week of October 16. It's good to be with you another week. The last week was an eventful one and a good week for trading. We are most of our trades that we start at the beginning of the week going bullish the stock market and bullish the metals, silver and gold have panned out for us really well, and then shorting the dollar. The last couple of days, the dollar's gained a little bit more strength, but it's been a good week of trading. So let's take a look at what I'm gonna be looking for next week. Again, this is not a signals, it's just to kind of let you know what I'm looking at, and then just to give us a roadmap of what we think the markets are going to do, and then when we're in the moment, we can kind of just play with what we see and trade consistently and keep our emotions in check. So that's what we do here. So the stock market. You can see we're just here at the close. It's rebounding a little bit off of its lows, but it's pulled back a little bit from the highs, and the advanced decline line is kind of showing that kind of same little weakness. I was a little suspect with this advanced decline line. You could see that it barely came to the same highs, and as far as where the price was previously, the price broke above these same levels, but the advanced decline did not. So I was kind of expecting this pullback. I just didn't quite catch the downward move, but we did catch the move up. So the last couple of days, we kind of relied on our trades with gold and silver. Those have done really well. It's so for next week, I'm looking for next week a little bit extension on Monday, and then looking for a turnaround on Tuesday, potentially a through bar reversal, come to the previous high. If not, I do expect it to hold these levels. I do not expect it to come back down. I don't think this is a precursor of a downward move. I think we are going to be seeing higher prices into the end of October and into the holiday season. So I'm bullish the stock market, and so I'm going to be looking for another entry signal to the upside and watching this advanced decline line. If it could break above these levels pretty quickly, then I'm going to be getting long and holding on. That's the plan. With our precious metals, oh, they are so precious, especially when you catch the right move with precious metals. Silver has done really well for us this week, even though it was kind of steadily moving up. We were hitting higher highs and higher lows. Thursday was a little bit scary because it came down to the previous low, but overnight we had a big move in the precious metals, and we were looking for bullish signals here. This was an entry to go long, and basically Monday, Tuesday, we had plenty of chances to go long. Fortunately, I was already long at like 21.84, and then we took profits around this 21.65. It was actually my targets were at 60, but I waited a little bit, took profits at 65. So what about right here, right now? Because of the strength that we see today, I would expect it to maybe pull back a little bit and possibly form another move to the upside. I think we might see it go a little bit further. But I just wanted to see this is kind of a level that presents a potential resistance where it could come back down. So if it comes back down to Thursday's high and then forms a little three-bar reversal back to the upside, I'm going to go long again in the precious metals. Gold is a similar story. Our targets were at 1900 for the forecast, but man, did it exceed that today. It went way farther than I expected. I actually had my targets at 1924, just around these areas, a cluster right in here, and I didn't expect it to hit it, but it did. And so it went even farther. So at this point, I'm expecting again for a potential pullback here on Monday, Tuesday, maybe, and then because of the momentum to the upside, I think it very well be going back to the upside. But I want to see the Williams percent R down a little bit, at least the 4% Williams percent R. And I want to see some potential weakness before I get back in long. And if it keeps on going, then we're just going to have to wait. Maybe we'll see about fading it if it keeps on going strong and it kind of overextends. But for now, I want to see a little bit more weakness come back down into these levels, create that kind of maybe an inverted head and shoulders long term, and see if it comes back up to these high levels into the new year. But for now, just gonna bask in my profits and be happy about that, and then we'll see if it pulls back on Monday, Tuesday. Crude oil was a great trade this week as well because we predicted that crude oil would make a move back to the upside, and then we would test back down to see if it would come back down to test the low. It did exactly that. Now, it happened a little bit sooner than I thought with the news of Israel and those events over there. Crude oil jumped overnight on over the weekend. And so I took that opportunity to go short, and we were able to catch a really good move to the downside on Wednesday and Thursday. Now, fortunately, I was out of those shorts when it hit the gap. So when it came down and hit that gap, I took my profits. And I wasn't thinking about going long until kind of checking today to see what the market would do. But today it bounced up another $4. So it's a pretty bullish momentum here at this point. It could come back up and test, but I'm gonna stay out of this market for a little bit. I think it might maybe extend a little bit higher, and then if it does, it gets a formation back to the low. I think it might come back down into these levels. I'm not sure about that. I'm just gonna keep my eye on this, but I unfortunately was able to catch some of that down move, closing the gap of that crude oil. But for now, we'll stay on the sidelines for next week. Natural gas is another one that I've been watching, and this has been in the last few months that I've been watching it. It's been a consolidation. You can see how back and forth and choppy it's been, and then this past week it broke these highs, but it's come back down and tested. So I think if it can form a three-bar reversal and hold these levels, then I think we might see some higher prices as well. That's seasonality is really good with natural gas. The commercials have been buying. It's been undervalued throughout this whole consolidation, and so there's some reason to believe that the bulls can take over with this. So I'm going to be watching this market, not taking aggressive signals at all, of course, but I'll be looking for buys and looking for this level to hold and looking for buy signals. The grain markets, soybean and wheat, I'm still watching right here. Soybean made a move on Thursday to break above this trend line. That's what we were waiting for. Friday, it has come down. So I am looking to go long this market next week. If it can get back to Thursday's high, that's a buy signal. If Monday pulls down a little bit and then Tuesday it comes to Monday's high, that's a buy signal for me. Now, it doesn't mean that I'll be right. It could easily keep going down, but soybean historically does really well at the end of the year, and then in years ending in 3, it's always been bullish. So I'm kind of expecting some rallies in here, and right now it's set up perfectly for us to get in. We just have to just pay attention to this market and then kind of ride back up to this level. I think that's a big possibility for the next few weeks. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Wheat is another market that I've always been watching the last few weeks, and you can see it's been in this downward movement, and I've been getting hammered. But I think we're starting to see some bullishness step in, and so it's come to these highs. I'm gonna wait for a little bit of a pullback and then see if I can get long this market as well. Okay, let's take a quick look at our Forex pairs for this next week. We always look at the all-important US dollar when we're looking for trades. We've been trading the major pairs that involve the US dollar. So let's keep on that track. We were looking at shorting the dollar this week. The dollar yen has been quite strong still. If we take a look at where it's at, it's been lingering in this area, and then Thursday it came back up to this one very close to 150 area. I still believe this is a good opportunity to short. It's in this short range, and I think it could easily come down. Even just the notion of intervention will cause the price to come down quite a bit. There'll be, I think, quite a bit of profit taking. It's still a pretty strong trade, even if the dollar is weak. So look at also selling the U.S. Swiss franc or the U.S. Canadian dollar. We actually had some opportunities there this week as well, shorting that. The other pairs we were looking at were going long the British pound, and we did get a little bit of extension and continuing in that. Thursday it came back down, and Friday it did as well. So we may be testing these lows, but if by Monday or Tuesday it can get to Friday's high, then that will be the formation of what we've been looking for, a higher low where we could be seeing it come back into this 2,500 area on the pound. On the euro, we have the same thing here on the daily. So you can see it's very, very similar to the British pound. Look at how similar the price action almost looks identical at this point, which is not uncanny, but it's a little unusual to see sometimes when it's just that close in price action. They've both been very closely tied to the dollar lately, but it is again, if it gets to Monday's high, Friday's high on Monday or Tuesday, that would be a formation of a lower high, and we could be, looking at these higher prices here in the short term into the end of October. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Let's take a look at the euro yen next. This is another pair that I like to trade. It came back up into the sell region. We were able to catch a little bit of sells down in here. I think the selling could very well continue, again, for the same reason as of the dollar yen. The yen, Japanese yen, might just be in that same area that we had a while back, where earlier this year, where we had some momentum to the downside, even with the carryover trade still present. So watch for sell signals here as well. If it bounces a little bit on Monday and then gets back to Monday's low on Tuesday, that would be a sell signal if you're not already in this market. All right, well, that's going to be it for me this week. Those are the markets that I'm mainly watching for. A lot of my money is made in the futures markets, but if there's specific Forex markets that you want me to take a look at, that you're looking at, and you'd like me to give my 2 cents on, just send me an email at kevin@tradingbuddysystem.com. I'm happy to give my 2 bits for what it's worth. As you know, my guess is just as good as yours when it comes to identifying where the markets could go. My job as a trader is to give my best guess and then manage my risk and just stay as consistent as I can. And it's been working out really well. So let's just keep on trading on. I wish you all the best next week in your trading, and keep calm and trade on. And don't forget to like and subscribe.